Hello, this is Lydia Gwynn, and welcome to the last video in the learning module, Primary, Secondary, and Tertiary Sources, putting it all together. Let's review what we've already learned about primary, secondary, and tertiary sources from the previous videos in this module. Primary sources are original materials, works of art, or first-hand accounts created by the experiencer or the artist. When you think of primary sources, think of letters, diary entries, songs, paintings, original research, or theories. Secondary sources comment upon, discuss, analyze, or interpret a primary source and are not written by the person experiencing the event. When you think of secondary sources, think of book reviews, literary criticism, political analysis, or systematic reviews. Tertiary sources compile and summarize the ideas and concepts related to a topic in order to give you a broad overview. Think of encyclopedias, dictionaries, manuals, textbooks, atlases, fact books, and directories when you think of tertiary sources. To see how sources of information can move from primary to secondary to tertiary, let's look at examples from a couple of different disciplines. In the humanities, a primary source might be the novel Beloved by Toni Morrison. A secondary source would be literary criticism written about Beloved, while a tertiary source might be an encyclopedia of African American literature. All three sources of information together would give you a more thorough understanding of Toni Morrison's Beloved. An example from the sciences would look a little different. In the field of physics, for instance, an example of a primary source would be Max Planck's quantum theory, while a secondary source might be a review article published in a scholarly journal which discusses quantum theory, whereas a tertiary source would be a dictionary of physics and astronomy terms. If you watched the other videos in this learning module, you probably noticed that some sources fall into multiple categories. A textbook, for instance, may be considered a secondary source in some cases, but a tertiary source in others. If the textbook comments upon or analyzes primary sources, it would be a secondary source. But if a textbook compiles and summarizes a vast amount of information from primary and secondary sources about a topic, then it would be considered a tertiary source. Similarly, newspaper articles can be both primary and secondary. If the article reports an event firsthand, it would be considered primary. However, if the article offered commentary and opinion on an event, it would be considered a secondary source. Using all three types of sources, primary, secondary, and tertiary, can give you a more complete picture of your research topic. Primary sources offer a deeper understanding and tell the story of your topic, while also allowing you to draw your own conclusions and develop your own theories, while secondary sources offer differing and multiple viewpoints on your topic, leading you to new perspectives. Finally, tertiary sources give you a broad overview of your topic and can clue you into all the concepts and subjects your topic encompasses. Luckily, most libraries subscribe to databases containing all three source types. This concludes our learning module on primary, secondary, and tertiary sources. I hope that you now have a greater understanding to the definition of each type of source, where to find them, and why you'd want to use them. If you'd like to learn more, check out the references listed here. Thanks, and if you have any questions, you can always find me at lgwynn@vols.utk.edu.